baby, how was I supposed to know that T-34 was shielded? Oh baby, baby, I shouldn't have used HE. And now it's out of sight, yeah. Show me where this tank could be. Tell me, Commander, cause my sixth sense keeps going off. This T-34 is killing me. And I must confess, I used HE. If I can't find you, I'll lose this match. Give me AP. Let me hit that tank one more time. Hello and welcome to Reginaldesq. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Underhook, you sound exactly like Britney Spears. Yeah, this is my review of the T-34S. S stands for slow. No, actually it doesn't. I think the S is supposed to stand for shielded. It's a Tier 5 Russian premium tank, and it's a reward for some missions going at the moment. You have to complete 30 of the 50 missions. Where are the missions? Show us the missions, Underhook. Here it comes. It takes forever to load up on this thing. Sorry about this. Here we go. So there you go. If you complete 30 missions, I've now completed 31. If you complete 30 out of the 50, you get the tank. And you get some pretty good rewards for getting 40. There you go. You get 7 days premium time. If you get 40, I think I'll probably get to the 40. But 38 of the 50 days have gone, and I got this tank yesterday on the 30th mission yesterday. So I kind of missed about 7 days. I don't know. I think I was working or something, so I didn't play much or whatever. And but anyway, most of missions aren't that difficult. But so this tank, is it any good? Actually, yes it is. Originally I was going to say no, the tank's not that good, but after playing a bit more now, I actually think it's pretty good. As I alluded to in the song, this extra armor that it has on the outside, this is spaced armor round the turret and on the sides and the rear. It's not on the front though, but this extra spaced armor actually protects the tank quite a bit from artillery and HE firing tanks. I have had direct hits from artillery and have done about 130 damage. So it gives actually a lot of protection. So this tank seems to be a bit controversial at the moment. Now there is no armor layout available anywhere. None of the sites are showing armor for this yet. So what I'm going to do is, based on what I've been able to read on forums, scanning through them, I'm going to give you what I think the armor layout is of this tank. So I'll do the armor review right now. Some people are saying that the side of the tank has the upper side has 7mm less armor than it used to, or than it does on the other T-34. The other T-34 is a different model. Okay, it's different. And some people are saying the front of the tank has a little bit less, 5mm less of armor. But some people say no, the front of the tank is the same, but the front of the turret is 5mm less, because it is actually a completely different turret. Anyway, consensus on the spaced armor is that it is 16mm thick. So even if the side is reduced by 7, the spaced armor compensates for it. If the sides of the turret are reduced by 5 or 7mm, the spaced armor more than compensates for it. Now, as far as the front of the turret goes, I think this is actually substantially better than the T-34. Now the T-34 has a big cupola. The T-34S has no cupola basically. The T-34S also has pretty big cheeks on it that you can pen. Now you might look and say, oh well, this has got big cheeks too, look at them. Well, check this out. There's nothing behind it. This basically is all mantlet, and then there's a slither, and then it's just straight ricochet angle plate. You're gonna get a lot of ricochets off that when people are trying to shoot the cheeks, unless they've got a good angle. But even an angle like this, there's a good chance they're gonna ricochet off that. So really, all you're showing off from your turret when you go up a hill is your mantlet. Now the other thing that makes this, in my opinion, in some ways better than the T-34, this has 8 degrees of gun depression. T-34 has 6. So this thing can actually hill fight. It has if you look at the angles on the top of this mantlet, look at the angle on that. That's going to ricochet a lot of shots. So when you're hill fighting this, You have not much tank above the gun. The bit of tank above the gun is ricochet angle. You have these side bits which look like they can be penned but can't be. This thing bounces a lot. I'm going to show you a game where I bounce a surprising amount of shots. The T-34 was always bouncy from this sort of an angle, the front of the tank. It does get good ricochets simply because the front of this tank is so well sloped. But this thing now, angling, coming over a hill and then firing with this by showing a tiny bit of your turret, it's pretty damn good. The gun also aims pretty quickly. 2.3 seconds for a 76mm is pretty quick. So you can do alright in this tank. Now I have a crew which is 100% trained. The commander has 6th Sense, Mentor, believe it or not, and he's working concealment. This guy has Smooth Ride and he's working concealment. This guy has Situational Awareness, is working concealment, and this guy has concealment and he's working on Brothers in Arms. Yes, not the perfect crew, but I just grabbed them and chucked them in. And what else can we tell you about this? Actually, in the tank comparison, I'll compare this to the guns on the T-34 so you can get a bit of idea what people are going on about when they say this thing has low DPM. Also, we have I have binoculars fitted and a camouflage net fitted, which I actually found, I only put them on there because they're free, but I actually find it's really good for this tank. Because it's not quite as fast, you can actually sit back and spot. The tank is very stealthy, so with a camouflage net, you can shoot from bushes and often not be spotted. And I've got a repair kit but I would probably think vents or something like that would be good on this tank. Or maybe a gun lane drive or something like that, something to help with the aiming. Anyway, let's have a look at the tank comparison. So to save a bit of time with this tank, I'm just going to compare it to the T-34, and if you watch a T-34 review, you can see it compared to other tanks. Actually, my review of that tank's probably a bit old now. But anyway, let's go on with it. So 1650 DPM sounds okay. 1210 for the 76mm on T-34, which is why a lot of people didn't use it. They did have 5 more pen and 5 more damage than this one, 121.10 versus 125, 115. But yeah, very, very slow rate of fire and long aim time as well. So I might not talk too much more about this, but other than to say that the 76mm on this tank is a much better gun than the 76mm on the other tank. So now what I'm going to do is just change this gun over. I think I have to do Control Refresh, and then it gives me the option to update the gun. Yep. So let's put the ZIS-4, that one there, which is the one that most people use in it, and then we can go back and there you go. So they're 2200 DPM, and that's why people are saying the 1650 is low DPM, because they're comparing it to this gun. So let's compare it to that, since that's the popular gun in the tank. 120 versus 112, so we have more penetration and more damage per shot. But of course, overall, it has such a high rate of fire, it's outdoing. So the rate of fire on here is 15. It's 26. I thought it was 17 on the ZIS-4, but it's actually 26. That's an insane rate of fire, a bit like a Matilda at tier 4, but without the high pen. Caliber of our gun 76, 57 on this guy. Shell velocity of 950, it's 990 with the ZIS-4, so a little bit better. What else can we say about it? Aim time 2.3 is the same, but the T-34 with the ZIS-4 has a much, much better accuracy, and that is the thing with this T-34S. The accuracy isn't great. It's still better than the AMX 5100. Can't wait for that review, but it's not very good. So, however, dispersion whilst moving is a little bit better on the S. Gun elevation is 28. Actually, the ZIS-4, told a lie, it is 8 degrees as well with the ZIS-4 and the T-34. They're both 8. I think it's the 76mm in the T-34 actually goes to 6 degrees. Forward speed of 56 is the same, but the acceleration is much slower in the S. So downhill, this thing I've had actually well over 69. I think I've done downhill. Track traverse 36 is much slower. Track traverse 36 is slower than the 40, and the terrain resistances are not as good either. So definitely it suffers a bit. It is heavier, so a little bit better in the ramming department. We can see here that even though we don't have any actual armor layout, we can see it here. We can see that the hull is 45 of on the front, which is the same actually, but it's a little bit less on the side, 40 instead of 45. Not going to make any difference though, because this does not include the shielded 16mm on top. The turret armor itself is 45 at the front. It was 52 on the front of the T-34. But let me tell you, that was pretty patchy, I think, that 52. I think that was only in certain very small places, whereas it's quite extensive on the T-34S with the sloping and all that sort of stuff. I actually think it's a better armored turret than the T-34. It has 500 versus 450 hit points, which is quite a bit more. That's 20% more hit points, if my math is correct. And what else can we say? View range of 340 is actually a little bit less than the 350 on the T-34, although I was spotting okay with it. All things being equal, it should actually have a better... a worse view range is fair enough because it doesn't have the cupola, but it should actually have better camouflage because it also doesn't have a cupola, so it is slightly shorter, and height is the big deal in camouflage, so it should have slightly better camouflage. So yeah, so it's a tier 6 game and the map is province. It's tier 6s and tier 5s, so no tier 4s, so we're not too bad really, a lot of tier 5s. So down the hill, how fast can we go? 50, 60, 67, 68, 60, just touch 69 is as fast as we can go. You can see we're keeping up that Skoda T-24 pretty much, but now it slows down. But we're maintaining our speed in the 50 here, 52, pretty consistent. So once you get it up to speed, it does do the speed of the good old T-34. Just the acceleration, you can see here it'll slow down now up the hill with the extra weight. So I decided to move up this way, so I can do a bit of spotting. But what I really want to show you in this particular video is just how bouncy the armor can be. Now obviously against tier 7s you're not going to bounce anything. But you know, this is 5s and 6s, so there are no tier 4s, so bear in mind that when we do bounce stuff, there are no tier 4s shooting at us. All equal or higher tiers. So I do have binoculars which have activated. I'm not seeing anything now. I might just speed this up to 2 times while we're waiting for this. And I see the Type 64 move up. He does get spotted and cops a hit, but I couldn't even see who shot him. So whoever shot him is 15 metres behind the bush. I decided to move up. I have got 6th sense, which didn't go off. I was thinking as I went past these bits with no bushes I would be getting seen, but I'm going to go back to normal speed now. And check out the gun depression and the hill fighting ability of this tank. This is actually a perfect spot for this tank because we're going to be able to angle our hull as well as... I was hoping I could shoot over there, but I can't. Those tanks that have been spotted. Yeah, we're going to be able to angle our hull as well as just exposing a bit of our turret, so it's sort of perfect scenario for this tank. So a lot of the heavies engaged over there, but here's this Chaffee, and he didn't even notice me. He still doesn't even know where I am. He's just worked it out now. I actually bounced that second shot because he's well angled against me. Come up now for another one. Get that one into him. He bounces off us. Shoot him again. He bounces off us again. Shoot him again. Shoot him again, and he's dead. And now we're trying to get his Panzer 4H. And he hits us and does penetrate us. I was terrified actually that he was... Actually, let's just see if we can see where he penetrated us. Looks like... is that it? Is that a miss? I think that's a penetration just near our machine gun at the front of the tank there. There's another hit actually on the corner there, which looks like it might have penned. I think... well, they actually both look like pens, but only one of them can be a pen because we bounced the others. It does look like a ricochet angle though. I can't see any holes in the turret, so I'm going to assume it's one of those ones in the front, which I don't know how that actually penned, but let's continue the replay. And he bounces one off us. So that's not a bad gun on that tank, and the fact that it's bouncing shows, you know, we're doing alright. I make a mistake here. Now I get shot by the Pudo from across the map. and that bounces off the side of us. Probably hit the upper side. I get one into that Stug 3 that was waiting for me in ambush. I make a mistake here. I really should move away now. Take too many risks. I actually get hit by a T-67. The Stug bounces off us. I get hit by this T-67, but I made a big mistake. I've been hit by artillery now as well. And I somehow missed that Stug with my last shot. I don't know how it missed. It was about when I got hit, so that may have altered things. No, so now I get hit by artillery. I fire that shot, but it doesn't go into the Stug for some reason, and the Panzer IV comes and finishes me off. You can see there, that grill hit us. It only did 184 damage, which really is not too bad, getting hit by a grill for 184. So, anyway, we died. Okay, Class 3 game was really just to show the spotting, the bouncing of the armour. 592 damage, middle of the road. So we fired 12 rounds, 8 of them hit, 6 of them penetrated, so we did bounce a bit ourselves. Total damage 592. We received 10 hits, 4 of them penetrated, 6 of them bounced. And blocked by armour 605, which is pretty good considering the tank doesn't have that many hit points. Damage 3 destroyed, 1, vehicle spotted 4, blah blah. There you go. The map is Erlenberg, and once again, Tier 6 game. 3 Tier 6s on each team, although there are also Tier 4s in the game. Now you can see here that this is where you can see the tank is a little slow. The Cromwell's obviously much faster, the Hellcat's much faster. And although we are accelerating, it takes a while. Every time we turn the tracks a little bit, we lose a little bit of speed, and you're back to sort of square one again. Got to 40 now. And it looks like in this snow we're not going to get more than about 40 out of the tank. It's not super slow, but it's not as quick as the standard T-34. Now I am going to show off the armour again, and this time regarding HE from artillery. Just in case you thought I was making it up. So I've gotten spotted there. I am right now expecting that due to my location I am going to get hit by artillery. I'm waiting for it. Trying to point my tank at artillery, and we get hit. Now, it does 156 damage to us, and it was a direct hit. That is a premium artillery, and it has 52 millimeters of penetration, and does 450 average damage. So why did it only do 156? I don't know if you can see the hole there in the back. There's a big hole there near the back, on the side, upper side of the back there, there's a hole. So it went through the spaced armour, but exploded of course on the spaced armour and did not fully penetrate the tank. That would be 40 or 45 millimeters of armour there, and it should have been a full penetration. So could almost have killed us. That shot, we have 500 hit points. In theory, it could have one-shot us. Now I end up not doing much for a while here, so I'm being pretty cautious, and I'm just going to speed this up to 4 times while I sit here. I'm using my binoculars and trying to spot. Artillery shell landed near me, but I was not spotted. I know I was spotted because I had 6th sense. Took a couple of pot shots at someone here who was off the map and I couldn't see them. Back to normal speed now. An M4 comes out from cover, and I am too late to get shot. So lack of speed there, an issue. Didn't get spotted though, fortunately, but our TDs on the hill, those guys up there, took care of it, Hellcat and the M43. So back in the tank. I'm going to speed it up again 2 times. I kind of spent a lot of time in this game not doing much because really I'm relying on the stupidity of the enemies to come chasing us up here. And they're not doing it at the moment. I'm just hoping that somebody does something silly and I can spot them and shoot them from here, but I'm not getting any shots. So one of our Cromwells did move forward earlier. I'm back to normal speed now. Did move forward earlier and got killed, but the other one's moved forward now and done a bit of spotting. Can't quite get that Stug using the cover, but we get a shot into the T-34S, so nice hits him as well. Can still just see his turret, missed. The accuracy isn't great. Oh, but this guy should hit him. Ricochet. Really? Off an AC-4 experimental? That shot goes in. And now we've got an Achilles. Oh, smorgasbord. Someone else gets in before we can get a penetrating shot in. I can almost see him, and now he's gone off the radar. Interesting that I was not spotted there at all. So they must have been more than 15 metres back from the bush, or I'm just at a range where they're having trouble seeing me. My camo net probably would have deactivated because I did move around a little bit. Now the TDs on the hill are telling us to go and light them up. That's very easy to say. Had a glimpse of the BDR through there. It's very easy to say, but the Cromwell's complying. He's probably going to get nailed. I'm not going out there because I know I'm going to get nailed. With the Cromwell's got enough speed to probably get across to the end there without getting hit. He's now up the top. Let's see if we can shoot anything. It's a T-40 there. I need to move to be able to get a shot on him now. Don't know if I want to go too far up because once the TDs see me, I will get absolutely smashed. I'm just thinking, I was wondering if this BDR might be about to come out. He's on our side of the river. Oh, here we go. AC-4 experimental. He's been tracked, and we get a good shot into the side of him. We didn't do 320 of damage, don't worry. We did 104. T-34 is behind the building. T-34-85. Tier 7 medium? No, Tier 6 medium. Good medium tank. I thought it was good anyway. No, he's not popping out. I think about actually going down and getting this BDR. Just driving up and getting him from behind. So that's what I'm intending to do now, but our artillery takes care of him, so my service is not required. So I turn back and now I realise our Cromwell has been killed. And I figure I may as well just move up, because I know that all the tanks up there look like they've been pretty badly damaged. The T-34A5 has come out, so we might get a shot on him. And no, we don't. The TDs annihilate him, so I'm just going to keep going now and see if we can make it. And we've been spotted. Uh-oh. Hoping I don't get hit. And we get hit and tracked. I use a repair kit. Artillery did 98 damage to us that time, and it's hit us. Is that in the top of the turret? Looks like the top side of the turret there, near that white line, top of the white line. So it hit the spaced armour. So once again, the spaced armour saves our bacon. Now it's French, so it fires all the time. And that one you can see there, the lower part of the turret, once again hit that spaced armour. This time it did do 163 damage. But considering all that armour would normally be a pen, and it does an average of 400 or 450 damage, we would be dead by now, for sure. Back in the tank. And it looks like we might have actually made it to relative safety. I knock over a tree because I'm an idiot, and it also doesn't turn that well. Alright, let's see if we can spot somewhere for my binocs to come on, and is that the Hellcat that's come up behind us? Yes, it is the Hellcat. He obviously has good view range and has spotted this P2640. My wife is yelling at me, I apologise for that. One shot goes in and we get the second shot in. Nice. And Hellcat moves up to do some more spotting. He spots his T40 for us, thank you very much. 1, 2. He's moving. No, he's moved. Fire another blind one, but he'd already gone. The Hellcat is leaving because he wants to get some more kills. So take care of that guy. Actually, I think he's worried about our cap is why he's leaving. I want to get this arty. It looks like on the map all the other tanks are elsewhere, but who knows, they may have come back. We've spotted this guy now. Once we fire, for sure he will see us. So I fire, then I move a little bit, hopefully to throw his aim off, but he nails us. 60 damage this time, and we get another shot into him, and there's no way he's going to be able to fire. Hopefully reload. Yeah, good. And he's done. So hopefully it gives you a pretty good look at the tank. Does the shielding compensate for the lack of mobility? I guess that's up to you and your playstyle. Is the gun any good? I think the gun is good. Is it as good as the ZIS-4? Well, probably not, although it does have a bit more pen. But overall though, I think it's a good tank. By the way, by the time I get to cap, my buddies have destroyed the other two tanks that are on cap, so I don't take any further part in this game. So, Class 3 game, nothing too exciting. I didn't get any Mastery games or anything. It's pretty much impossible to get Mastery at the moment because, well, impossible for me, because the tank's been out for about a week. All of the really good players would have got it first, and they've all been driving it, and they've all probably had monster games in it, and there's no way I'm going to get near Mastery. Anyway, we came second. 1,074 damage was only 579 XP. I guess we weren't spotting what we were shooting, so that's fair enough. 17 shots fired, 12 hit, 11 pen, so we did good with penetration because it was no tier 7s. Tier 7s, this tank doesn't do very well, but what tier 5s do, not a lot of them don't. 17 shots fired, yeah. Received 4 hits. It said they all penetrated, but they penetrated the outside of the armour, not the inside. So they didn't really penetrate, but that was all arty. That was the only thing that hit us that game. Spotted 1, damage 5, destroyed 3, 91 assistance damage, not much at all. Anyway, there you go. Thank you for watching my review of the T-34S. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to Reginaldesq and have fun.